Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord Newt Thor 7, the T. I have to warn you ahead of time. I got extremely depressed yesterday on a personal level and a collective level. But then I remembered if I can survive through April, I'll get to see Game of Thrones Season 8, Episodes 1, 2, and 3, and Avengers Endgame. And for Avengers Endgame, I'm just hoping it's better than the final episode of Girls. I keep my expectations low these days. And though, even though I'm incredibly depressed, I'm going to take the advice of the Texans Houston cheerleaders and stay strong and see if I can do this without my hackers messing with me. All right. So I live in Houston, Texas. And in Houston, Texas, we have a oil / toxic chemical / nail polish remover / God knows what fire that has been burning for about 14 hours now. Last I heard, 4 of the containers were on fire. It looks like an ongoing atom bomb. It is not. But as you can see here, and I think it's like 45 miles away from Houston. And so here is the big, long cloud of smoke. This awesome thing brought to us by Storm Chaser Nick, Sam Dienst in Baytown, and Carolyn Brown's mom. Thank you. We got Cyclone Trevor is expected to strike the Cape York Peninsula in Australia before slamming through the Gulf of Carpentaria. And then the attention turns to potential major cyclone Veronica off northwest Australia later this week. And you have to be a jughead to not realize that looks like a very dangerous situation for people along the coast. It seems like almost everyone on Earth has been getting some wild weather. Melissa Constanzer. Flooding is a big concern this week along the Missouri River. Flooding is already a big enough problem in Iowa and Missouri and Nebraska to have part of Interstate 29 closed down. And it's become blatantly obvious over the last 24, 48 hours and how little people who put their entire identity into politics care about Americans. Because we have major, massive, historic, record-level flooding in multiple states, and the politicians and the media isn't really talking about it much at all. It's like Puerto Rico, except in the middle of America. And so this is going to continue for days and weeks, possibly even into all these rivers get so wide, they become a giant river that kind of collapses into the ocean. We call it the Edgar Cayce map. And it's probably where your media and your politicians are distracting you from. Because the media doesn't know the possibilities, and the politicians think they got a safe place to go to. Or they're being threatened that they're going to be cut up into tiny little bits of people, which could be my fate for telling you all the truth. It seems like it more and more every day. Major river flooding has worsened across the plains over the past few days amid dry and chilly conditions. However, an unwelcome change in the weather pattern is still on the horizon. And so, yeah, let me say that. It seems like more and more the reward for me trying to unite people and tell you all the truth is going to be I end up in some horrific death. So, yeah, literally, I don't, if you want to leave a nasty comment, I don't give a fuck, man. Did everything I could to be a hero, and it appears only the worst of the worst get rewarded in today's society. Yeah, it's impressive. Paul Roundy. We're looking at equatorial temperature anomalies brought to us by Anthony Macelio. And so, yeah, at our equatorial electrojet line, we're getting some anomalous, what I would say, volcano heat. And remember, the volcano in Mexico has been going off for like 5 or 6 weeks now. But if you want to prefer to track your cool world this way, yeah, it's a big hotspot, man. So we got the historic floods inundating Nebraska. I mean, look how much that river has widened, and we've been watching the rivers continue to widen, and the snow melt alone is going to cause some big problems. And I think we're going to see more storms in our wave after wave after wave pattern. Oh, the models aren't reflecting that much right now. And speaking of snow, Meredith Garofalo, welcome to Avalanche Alley. Come along for this wild ride between walls of snow on Highway 21 in Grand Jean, Idaho. So there's a lot of snow in a lot of places, and we're going to get a heat up and then a meltdown before the nor'easter on the East Coast. And so as you can see here, like we have two lows moving over in our wave after wave pattern. And so we have the first system expected to bring a chance for rain, maybe light snow Tuesday evening. And we have a second system expected to bring a chance of showers, possibly thunderstorms Friday into Saturday. And then that will move into the plains, causing more problems. So it'll be like storm, warm up, melt, storm, warm up, melt. Air quality levels explained. An active weather pattern is back this weekend. Showers, storms return late Friday p.m. into Saturday, with even some rain Sunday. Not a weekend washout, but you may have to rearrange outdoor activities. Timing, coverage, severe threat will become clear as we get closer to Friday. So Texas, we'll be watching out, but it's Monday, and I got a feeling this is going to be a long week full of really bad weather news stories and even worse distractions by the media and your politicians and your trolls. That was brought to us by Colleen Coyle, Colleen Weather, Rodney Chai T. Weather. I can't even imagine the blizzard conditions that must have occurred to allow snow to plaster on the trees like this. Pictures taken on March 16, 2019, at around 10,000 feet elevation near Mount Rose on the Tahoe Rim Trail. Gorgeous day for snowshoeing. So yeah, it's crazy wild weather conditions all around. And now the weather story that will probably get the most attention, because the Midwest flood has barely gotten any attention. I think a shooting where like 1 or 2 people died on a train in, I don't know, was it Denmark, somewhere around there? That got way more news just this morning than multiple states being totally underwater, including Air Force bases. Although the Air Force base is not totally underwater, it's just surrounded. Yeah, we're looking at what is about a Category 2 hurricane strength wind nor'easter volcano warm wet hybrid thingy. And then I think, remember last year we got 4 nor'easters in a month or 3 weeks or something like that? Well, I think we're going to get that again. We're getting close to that pattern, except it's not going to be a classic nor'easter. It'll be kind of a wet, cold, dry thing. But we're going to be watching this. This is on Friday, because it's going to be nor'easter. And then, as you can see, the freezing following soon after. And the instant freeze shit is always hard to track. So I'm just going to do my best. And the weather Twitter team and the weather team will do their best to track it. And that's all we can do, man. I want to say, it's kind of like when I talk about just being depressed for super multiple reasons. Cranky Weather Guy, whose blog I always recommend to you guys, he's pretty much stopped doing Twitter, because even the normal weather guys are just getting beaten just by the trolls and angry people and just people who want to blame the guys who are trying to help and the shit talkers. And so he's pretty much, he hadn't tweeted in 3 days, This is his latest blog. I'll leave it linked for you. But, it's just, it ain't fun standing up here trying to talk to people in this time where everybody's just totally tearing each other to shreds. A journey to spring, cherry blossoms in full bloom along highway in Guiyang, China. All right. Cherry blossoms are cool. Joe Martucci is the floodgates at the Missouri River near Plattsmouth, south of Omaha. It's above record stage, and it's not even close to finished. Heavy precipitation and strong snowmelt led to these horrible conditions, and the snow will probably continue to melt. New storm for our Pacific will eye California and much of the Southwest during the middle to latter part of this week. So we got a lot to watch here. And there's a gigantic flood wreaking havoc in Nebraska. Man, you got towns, multiple towns cut off. You got just multiple major infrastructure destroyed. Barely anybody noticed, I mean, these are the reasons why I've been doing Thor News, trying to unite people for 5 years. This is the reason why, up until last year, I tracked the dollar of the infrastructure, because, the message is clear that the politicians and the media are here to distract you. And that the idea of building cities of the future and safe places with materials of the future was something we should have started in 2015, or we should start now. But it seems more and more every day, chances of that are less likely, and who knows how long I will survive or Thor News will survive. Seems like a pretty grim day to me. A surfer sits and waits for a wave in rough seas at Tynymouth, UK. Because everybody's been getting hit with the storms in this wave after wave after wave pattern. Mozambique's president says the cyclone death toll from yesterday may be 1,000. And so in government math, it probably definitely means over 10,000. Yeah, I mean, so, hello? What the heck? What the heck? Okay. So we'll keep tracking it all for you. And this thing looks like a windy, wet, mixed precipitation beast. I will try and snap out of it. It's brought to us by Ian Livingston. These images unmask the historic and horrific flooding in Nebraska and nearby states. And there are people out there who enjoy the pain and suffering of others. So it seems like they're the only ones having a great time these days. Copernicus EU, the full picture from Seawee City, IA to St. Joseph, MO in one Sentinel-2, scene acquired on 16th of March. I mean, yeah, the rivers are widening, and you can kind of see how this could cause a problem, and water is a lot heavier than air. And so we got a lot to monitor. And even down here in Houston, it is gloomy and doomy. And I just thought it was weird from one of our president's tweets. Plant boom. Huge storm yesterday and evening in Dubai Airport. Remember, shit goes down. All the billionaires have a plan, man. And this is the intercontinental terminals. And I think 8 of them were on fire. And they say that this could burn for a few more days. I've wondered, could it hit something that would lead to a big explosion? And then how far could that fire travel up to pipes? Because during Hurricane Harvey, when one of the Texas City places exploded, people felt the pipes shake and rattle here in Houston. And I guess now we're arguing over whether Venus is or isn't a planet. And so, yeah, we got a lot to watch, a lot to track. As you can see, things are going to be dicey all over. This was we got Hawaii was looking at possible 50-foot surf winds because what's going on in the ocean is crazy. And as you can see, this is the Friday, the nor'easter. And then soon after it passes, you could get some instant freeze. And though most people are watching what's going on over there, as usual, the Pacific is definitely the most fascinating in my opinion right now. Although what's happening to everybody is pretty fascinating. So I'll do a rundown here. Yeah, I just want to say again, even though I know it's going to upset people, but I really don't care. Thor News is I fully survive off your contributions and donations. To my PayPal link in the information box below. And somehow that really pisses people off. Even though politicians ask for contributions and donations every day, all day. And they don't add anything of value into your life. They pretty much just distract you from the truth and the important things that we're supposed to be doing, like uniting and getting prepared for these earth weather changes. Yeah, I don't, things don't seem hopeless to me very often. But that's kind of how I felt last 24 hours. So, I've done my best to pick you guys up over the last 5 or 6 years, put a smile on your face, inspire you. So if you could do that for me today, that'd be great. If not, hopefully I'll snap out of it soon. And, the edited videos I keep trying to put out, when you put them together, they're, all the stuff that's happening, it's pretty depressing when you look at it chained together. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, if they are going to kill me, I've always said that, I definitely knew that was part of a chance. But B, I didn't think any form of depopulation would work. I still don't. And so I was literally fighting for all the families of Earth, the richest to the poorest. And I've been as honest and honorable as I could have been. So I would have hoped that would earn me a semi-painless death. But like I said, if we're dealing with just some really evil people, that's probably not what would happen. That's lame. And even though I'm your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, I'm sure if they were super torturing me, then I would probably scream and cry and shit my pants and stuff. So, yeah, I guess. All right, well, I'm going to do my best to snap out of it. And you do your best to stay cool and keep hope alive. And I will talk to you guys in the near future. Peace out. God bless everyone. Stay cool.